So inZOI have just published the game on Steam ready to wishlist. What that means is they basically just give you a preview of the game and they'll notify you when it's ready. But here they've actually given us some screenshots of inZOI, and I've had a look and they seem to be different screenshots than what we've seen before, because they have showed us some gameplay trailers before, yet for some reason in every single gameplay trailer they show the exact same footage. But I've had a very brief look and all of this stuff does look brand new. So we're going to be reacting to it together and seeing all of the new stuff and doing a deep dive into what we can find. It doesn't say when it's coming, it just says coming soon. And I've told you guys before, this game is made by Krafton and they make the game PUBG. I feel like most people have heard of this, even if you may not have played it. So why are they making a life sim? I don't know, but there we go. They've also given some more information about the game and system requirements. But first, I want to take a look at the pictures. Now, already I am very skeptical of an inZOI wedding. I'm skeptical of a wedding in any life simulation game because I just can't see it working. The Sims has given me a fear of weddings in life simulation games, so I'm very interested to see how all of this goes. Although we have seen in previous footage that they're doing cutscenes in the game, and I'm honestly like not against a cutscene wedding. I don't know how you guys feel about that. If the simulation ain't working, throw it in a cutscene. That's my view. Also, I want to take a look in the bottom here at all the different icons. In the middle it says this person is dazzled. I don't know quite what that means, but it looks like the heart eyes emoji. So maybe that just means like in love. And then we've got a Zoe driving a car. Their emotion is tranquil. I believe based on what they've said before, you won't be able to control your car like GTA, but they will route to a specific place. But I don't know if that will change on release. And then we've got another screenshot here. Somebody taking a selfie in front of some graffiti. Is that person actually painting the graffiti? That's pretty cool if they are. Something that annoys me honestly about like The Sims 4 and The Sims 3 really is it doesn't really feel that immersive in terms of like Sims doing stuff. The Sims 1 was the best game for being immersive because did you know in The Sims 1 NPCs will actually follow the camera? So if you move the camera somewhere, all of the NPC Sims will actually go into the camera's view and just start like doing things in order to make it feel more immersive. So like based on the look of this, it seems like, you know, people are just doing stuff around your character, which I'd be interested to see in terms of how it works out with the actual game. And then we've got people on a pier. It looks like somebody's fishing and maybe this is this man's wife and their two kids, and the kids look like they absolutely hate it whilst he's doing some fishing. She looks a bit distressed as well. And then this random couple's taking a selfie here and their emotion is cackling, which is very strange. When I think of cackling, I think like, you know, my laugh like that. That's what I think of cackling. So that's a weird emotion. I'm looking at all the UI, like there's this weird thing here where my mouse is like, what is all of this? I don't understand. And then they've got this which shows off singers playing in a part. So we have bands in the base game of inZOI. Obviously it's just busking, but that's pretty cool. I'm looking at these water effects and I'm thinking, whose PC can handle this? Most simmers are playing on what they call netbooks, Google netbooks or something. I don't understand how people are going to be able to handle this, but they have showed off the system requirements, which we will look at in a moment. Now they've also shown off some gardening here. This kind of reminds me of the Life by You trailer a little bit. She's feeling touched, so it looks like there's some interesting emotions here which we don't see in The Sims. In terms of build mode, I'm not exactly sure how they're going about it. As far as I'm aware, I don't know if you can actually edit the walls or if it will be like kind of like The Sims 4 City Living where you just edit the inside. I'm not quite sure at this stage, and they've given some information, but I'll be honest, I've forgotten. But I do think the build mode here is going to be a little bit more restricted than The Sims in terms of what you can do. But I get the impression that inZOI is more of a live mode game rather than a build mode game. They've also shown off some, I guess this is like fairground stuff, like some arcade stuff here. You can see at the right as well, it's got the Zois that you're playing with. This must be the action queue down here, which is very interesting. And then we've got, oh gosh, not more wedding stuff. Genuinely, I've got trauma from my wedding stories, I think. But there we go. Here's another one. They've also shown us people on the beach, maybe busking. Again, that looks very, very sweet, actually. We can see some things here. I wonder if these are skills that your Zois are gaining or something. I'm not quite sure what this is. This person's feeling lethargic. That's like me with my IBS. And then we've got them showing off a newborn baby. I don't think we've even seen babies yet in the trailers before. I think this may be a first because we've only seen adults and kids. And then this is a view of the city, which does look really, really cool. It reminds me a lot of when I lived in Japan, actually. And then this is a view of the pier area with some rides and things. And then this is another view of the city. The world looks very big and impressive, I won't lie. And then this is something that we haven't exactly seen before, and this is the map screen. So this is Bliss Bay. This is an American inspired city. So this is the entire map screen size, as you can see here. So if we look at the beach so far, okay, all of these green bits look like different lots. And then obviously, yeah, I think these green bits must be parks. And then the purple bits maybe workplaces. And then the other ones are houses. For now, I get the impression that a lot of this city is going to be set dressing. So I don't think it'll be like The Sims 3 where you can literally like move into any building. I get the impression that there is some set dressing going on here. It seems like there's also these blue ones with houses, and some of them have this like radius thing going from red to green, which is interesting. I'm not too sure what that could mean. And then maybe the little red dots are your ZOIs. I'm not quite sure. It says manage family here, then edit schedule, karma report, and ZOI statistics. They have said in an interview before that inZOI will contain karma, which is like if you do good things to your ZOIs, then good things will happen to them, and vice versa for bad, which I think will be a very interesting gameplay mechanic. They've also got city decoration, making it look like you can change up your city, and then studio, which I believe is just going to be probably like cast mode or build mode. This is a preview of build mode, and they've got the different build categories you can see on the left here, and it looks like there is a photo booth, and then this is also build mode in a lot, and again it looks very, very detailed where you can do different textures and effects. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to if I'm going to find this a little bit overwhelming. One thing I do like about The Sims 4, which I didn't like so much about The Sims 3, is The Sims 4 does have less customization in terms of like color swatches, patterns. There isn't a color wheel, but in a way I actually find it a lot easier because you can just kind of drag and drop it onto your build, whereas I don't personally know if I'm keen on having just like all of these different things that you've got to constantly change. I think it's good for people who genuinely love building, but I think for casual builders maybe it will be a little bit more intimidating. So I'm hoping that we do get some kind of pre-made swatches for a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of detail like glossiness, pattern scale, horizontal and vertical scale, as well as a color wheel, as well as paint, tiles, wood, or other different effects. There's so much. And I'm guessing that you can also import textures in the game as well, which will be interesting. They've showed us loads of different screenshots of the character creator. Oh, this one was a jump scare. So age group. So it looks like we've got kids, teens, adults, older adults, and elder. It looks like there's body in terms of body type. I don't know what that means. Maybe that just means gender or something. I don't know. And then it says trait. It says only one. I guess this part's in development. And then it's got desired life, which is in development. So we don't know much about this one yet. And then we've got face presets here. Just looking at the face presets, there are literally loads of different presets of a very wide variety of different ethnicities. I think it looks really, really detailed, actually. I would say inZOI looks the most detailed in terms of like realistically creating a wide variety of people. Like, let's be honest, in The Sims, all Sims kind of do look the same. I feel like in inZOI, they genuinely look like you can create any kind of looking person. Like, this is really, really detailed, like with the way that they look. You can't deny that every single character looks completely different. This is really, really impressive. This is an interesting one. Is this traits? Or maybe it's kind of like Sims 4 aspirations. Like there's different things you can choose. So this person is a calm and tranquil person, which leads them on to being a dreamer, but also other things. So dreamers, coexistence, safety, rule-abiding traditionalist, prioritizes inner peace and displays philosophical nature, frequently feels lethargic, tranquil feeling lasts for a longer time, sleep gauge decreases quickly. This is all interesting. And there's all these different kinds of things like adventurous, entertainer, collaborator. So these seems like different kind of personality types, maybe. This one is adventurous, has keen interest in new settings and challenges, frequently feels excited, bored feelings last for a longer time. Energy gauge decreases slowly, enjoys conversation. These are all very interesting. And then we've got a mediator. And then it looks like this person is a perfectionist, authoritarian, explorer, entertainer, entertainer. Oh, you set them for kids as well. Expert. That chart looks very realistic with the puffy cheeks. This is another character here in a pose. Again, I just feel like I definitely think the strongest point in my personal opinion about inZOI is the create an inZOI mode, whatever we're calling it, create a ZOI mode. It does look really, really in depth. You literally cannot deny it. And it looks like, based on this on the left here, that they've got the jacket and top separate, meaning that it looks like you're going to be able to layer your clothes, which is very interesting. In this create a ZOI mode as well, it looks like on the left here you can see studio, where it's got like different poses, expressions, backgrounds, so you'll be able to take some really cool screenshots. Even the customized nails look really, really good. I think The Sims is in trouble in terms of create a sim mode. I think they need to step their plumbussy up, because this looks absolutely awesome. They all look at the hair. Tell me right now this game is gonna work on your netbook. No, it's not. It's not gonna work. It's gonna honestly make your fan blow into space. Your laptop's just gonna go straight through your ceiling. I know it. It just looks very, very aesthetic. Now, another thing that we need to look at is about the game. So it says inZOI is a life simulation game where the player can alter any aspects of their world to create unique stories and experiences. Just like in the real world, you can find jobs to make a living whilst forming deep relationships through interactions. With a complete community simulation of every character acting on their free will, you can experience unexpected events to feel the various emotions life has to offer. Within inZOI, we hope to share the message that life itself is the true gift and every journey has its own meaning. They then went on to say, inZOI provides a variety of creative tools so that players can visualize a life they've always dreamed of. Developed using Unreal Engine 5, the game's realistic graphics allows the players to let their imagination run free with easy creation of different resources. Customize your character's appearance and outfit and build your own custom home using a wide selection of freely movable furniture and structures. You can also adjust different parts of your property and surrounding roads, as well as aspects of your residing city for a fully customizable experience. That all sounds interesting, but I'm more interested in system requirements. So they've got minimum requirements, which is like the bare basics. If you have the minimum requirements, the game may lag a little bit and it may look ugly, but this is the minimum that it wants you to play on. So Intel i5, AMD 360, that's fine. That's just standard. Memory, 12 gigabytes of RAM. Most cheap laptops have 8 gigabytes of RAM these days. So it looks like you will at least need a gaming laptop or an expensive one. Most PCs are Intel i5, so I don't think that's going to be an issue for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. But memory is essentially quite an important thing in terms of having it run smoothly rather than graphics. So if it's smaller than this, you may experience like crashing or extremely high loadings times. So it looks like you will at least need a gaming laptop, because a lot of standard ones, as I said, just have 8 gigabytes these days. It also requires NVIDIA RTX 2060. This is a graphics card. This is what basically makes your games look pretty. Most standard laptops that you would use to play The Sims don't actually have an NVIDIA graphics card. Usually they have kind of like a built-in chip, which is not as powerful. So ideally you would need a proper PC or a gaming laptop to make this work. So that's really interesting. And oh my gosh, 60 gigabytes of space. That's so much. The Sims minimum is 26 gigabytes and maximum is 51. For inZOI, the recommended so that it runs smoothly is Intel i7. Okay, this is basically like mid to high performance PC or laptop. 16 gigabytes of RAM is a lot. They also want a pretty decent graphics card, not like the most updated one, but a decent one. And there's 75 gigabytes of space. Oh my god, this game's so big. So you will definitely need a gaming laptop or PC in order for this game to work well, in my personal opinion. I feel like most people who play The Sims play on like, you know, MacBook or laptops. You will definitely not be able to play this on Mac or a student laptop, for example. It definitely will not work. You will need a proper gaming PC or laptop for it to work, which is standard. It's literally a given if you want to play any video game. If your computer is cheap, like it's your fault, you can't play any video games. But I feel like the difference between Simmers, for example, and a lot of other gamers, most Simmers I know don't play any other games, but The Sims is more just like, you know, The Sims is more of a casual thing that they play. So So it's going to be interesting to know like how many people will actually be able to play it. If we look at a game like Assassin's Creed, for example, this game was released last year. This one only requires 8 gigabytes of RAM minimum, 160 gigabyte space, Jesus, and also much lower graphical requirements. And again, Assassin's Creed is quite a bloody huge game. Like, I'm just thinking, like, compared to even like AAA, like really big games, like this is requiring a lot, which is fine for me. I don't know how the average casual user will find it, but I personally just think it looks really stunning. I personally can't wait to play it. I don't think it's gonna look as pretty as this, even on my high performing gaming PC, but I'm hoping it will be okay because this looks literally stunning. The level of detail is amazing. I was contacted by inZOI before, but I really wanted to stay unbiased, so that's why I'm just finding information out as we go along with you guys. So I'm going to be interested to see how it goes, and we can all go along the ride together. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. I will see you in the next one.